this is Warhawk Beyond 2040, and welcome to another edition of the Justice League review series. And we are joined once again by our very own good buddy, the one and only Geeker Beyond himself, Chris. Great to have you
Hello.
back.
Glad to be
Hello.
back, man.
Great to have you back here. So, as we mentioned at the end of the last edition we did for this series, where we talked about the Secret Origins three-parter, we left it open with another episode that we were going to be talking about, and Chris was the one who pitched this episode we are going to be talking about in a moment, and that episode is
Legends.
Legends. So, before we start talking about this episode, what made you want to talk about Legends? What was special about this one that you felt we could talk about this one in particular?
Gotta be the ice cream man.
Oh, the ice cream man, who the guy ended up stopped smiling.
No, I just love the whole concept of the kid at the end. He's been horrifically mutated.
Yeah,
So sad.
it was. I mean, when you said that you wanted to talk about the Legends episode, I remember thinking that would be a really good episode to talk about because, in a way, this episode was kind of the closest thing we got to seeing a version of the JSA in the DCAU, even though those characters were not named as those iconic characters from the comics, but just seeing those designs in the DCAU was kind of a nice treat. So I thought, yeah, that's actually a good episode that he pitched. So we can definitely talk about that one. So you know the drill, guys. As always, we are going to be watching the episode and talking about the episode. And Legends is a really good one. So I'm pumped for this. You pumped for this?
All the way.
Absolutely. So let's do this on the count of three. One, two, three. Never gets old. So this opening, as you can see here, do you think you'll see it in a second? There it is, the giant
Yeah.
robots.
Wow.
Does that remind you of something you would have seen in Super Friends?
Kind of. It's Lex's thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
thought
you can
so. The
tell by the
colours.
colours. Yeah, very something Lex would have done in the Super Friends episodes, because they used to do things like that, didn't they?
But yeah, but also the helmet looks like the MCU version of Ultron as well.
Yeah, I mean the design here is because Ultron had that design way before that Justice League were doing this, but yeah, it does kind of look like Ultron in some ways. It is very Super Friends, but I would say it's a lot more serious than Super Friends. I'm just waiting for Superman to get electrocuted again. Because that was always the thing in the show. Superman always got electrocuted, and that really annoyed me.
Yeah. That's the line in Destroyer that says he was always holding
Holding
back.
back,
And I
yeah.
thought, oh, that makes so much sense
Yeah, but at
when
the
he said
same
that.
time, Superman constantly getting electrocuted in every episode just got very boring, very quick. See,
True.
oh, see, just happened already. He
Yeah.
just got electrocuted already. Here we go. Oh,
Unless it was just like,
so that's how it happened. Oh, okay. See, I haven't watched this episode in a while, but I thought I didn't know the Flash caused the Justice League to go back to that timeline.
yeah.
So this is kind of like pre-Flashpoint because they hadn't really done time travel that much in the DCAU with the Flash. They did something like that in the 50s with the Flash and Jay Garrick, Flash of Two Worlds, where he ran so fast. And there's the intro.
Yeah.
Never gets old. So that's how it happened. I didn't know that. Did you remember that?
uh, no, but then I haven't seen this for about maybe 2 years now.
Same. So yeah, that probably was around the same time because I rewatched the whole series about, yeah, it might have been a couple of years ago actually, and yeah, I don't remember that. Interesting. So basically, what's happened so far is they've destroyed the giant robots, and Flash ran so fast he spun around, and we see John Stewart, Flash, John Jones, and Hawk Girl. Interesting dynamic there. So now they're in like some different timeline. Oh jeez.
Ah, I love
Oh
this.
wow.
All the destruction.
Yeah. See, I never realised that the Justice League cartoon, how intense it actually was. I mean, it's been like nearly 20 years since this show came out, but damn, really intense. Oh, look, there's your man coming up here.
1950s America.
Golden age, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is definitely not the golden age. Oh, look. Yeah, this is definitely a throwback to like the old 40s to 50s golden age of the comics. Look, there's your man coming up now.
Yeah.
There
Ice
he is.
cream man.
Yeah, there's your ice cream man. Oh my god.
Hashtag ice cream man forever.
Oh, that guy. Dave's. Oh, that creepy ice cream man waving. Yeah, he's your man.
Ice cream man beyond.
Ice cream man beyond. Brilliant.
They're like Mayor Hill. Is it Mayor Hill?
No, we're
Um, who's the dude from the animated series?
Mayor Hill, Mayor Hamilton Hill.
Yeah,
Now this guy here, I know he wasn't called that, but he reminds me of an old Flash villain called the Fiddler.
yeah, he's meant to be.
He's meant to be the Fiddler, isn't he? He
Yeah.
looks just like him. But I remember in the comics, the Fiddler was this very thin, creepy old man with long white hair. He used to wear like an old coat. He used to carry the violin in his case. And he used to use musical instruments as weapons, but it was mainly the violin. A good villain, an old classic DC villain.
You know who he looks like to me? Did you watch the Mask animated series?
Yeah, yeah,
Do
yeah,
you
yeah.
remember
I saw the whole show. Yeah, virtually the whole show.
there was an episode where the mask splits in half,
Oh, the bully from
and
Stan
that's
Ipkiss.
what he looks like to me.
He does a
The
little bit,
teeth. It's
and the
Chuck.
hairstyle.
Is it Chuck? No,
Chuck. Is it Chuck?
it's Chuck or
It was his school bully.
Ched. Or,
Ched, I think it was
oh,
Ched.
I
Yeah,
forget
he was
his name,
quite
but
punky, wasn't he?
yeah, but it's just that gap in the tooth. It's just something about him. That and also Syndrome from The Incredibles.
He
It's
does a
that
little
kind of
bit.
vibe.
One of the things I liked about this episode, and that's when you pitched it to me, oh, let's talk about Legends. One of the things that I was really excited about talking about this with you was this episode, although it's the Justice League, John Stewart is like showcased to the fullest. It's like even though the Flash, John Jones, and Hawk Girl, they're a big part of the story. This is mainly a John Stewart story.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like mainly all about John Stewart. There's this is definitely Black Canary and Wildcat. Love it.
So this was confusing because the DCAU did actually do a Catman, but that he wasn't in costume. He was caught for cat.
Cult of the Cat in New
yeah,
Adventures. Yeah, yeah, he was, but they never addressed him as that.
Good Guardsman, Alan Scott.
Do you know what? Just looking at that design, it's like a cross between Parallax and if Alan Scott became Parallax.
Yeah,
It
definitely.
does a little bit. Yeah, this was very fun. This was a very fun episode. That's clearly supposed to be Jay Garrick.
Yeah.
Clearly. And the boy.
The boy.
Definitely supposed to be what's his name? Snapper Carl.
Yeah. To me, it's like Snapper Carr mixed with Billy Batson and
Jimmy Olsen.
Jimmy Olsen, but also Dick Grayson from the '60s Batman.
Burt Wardon, yeah. Plus the clothes as well.
Yeah.
I mean, if you'd just dyed the boy's hair black, he'd just basically Dick Grayson.
66.
66, yeah, Dick Grayson 66.
No, Timmy.
I remember going through this, not watching it, but just going through this. Like, I was putting this together so we could talk about it. Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman were not in this episode. They were there at the beginning, but they had no part in this episode whatsoever. I would have liked to have seen how they would have reacted to this, especially Batman.
Yeah.
It would have been quite interesting. Like we could have got to see their version of Batman. Wow. That looks clearly like the Hall of Justice.
Definitely.
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
This is a different episode where it leaks back to Vandal Savage, or is that something else?
I think that's a completely separate
Ah,
thing. I like this. The roll call, very Super Friends
yeah. Or JSA.
or JSA. Yeah.
Without the sound, that's just like really creepy.
Yeah, I
It was
know.
like, I just don't. Yeah. There's something about this episode I like. I know you haven't read any of them, but kind of has a The Boys feel to it.
No, I've never really read much of the boys. I might have read a couple of stories, but it was a long time ago. But no, I've never really read all of them. I know you've read virtually all of them.
No, I've read them all now.
Yeah.
But in The Boys, the superheroes are like only superheroes behind to everyone's face, but behind closed doors, they'll do some really effed up
Yeah, it's
stuff.
been they've done things like that with the DC in the DC comics back in the day, like with the Crime Syndicate and things like that.
Oh,
They've
okay.
done similar things like they're heroes to the public, but behind closed doors they're evil. They've done things like that in the DC. Even the DCAU with the Justice Lords, they've done things like that.
Yeah.
This is basically DCAU meets the golden age of comics. This is really cool. You just get a little line here about their John Stewart's childhood heroes when he was growing up reading comics.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm can't stop thinking about that. And I like Tim Bruce version of The Boys, just animated The
Could,
Boys.
don't think I'd want to see that now. Maybe back in the day when Bruce Tone had the magic. Could have
Yeah.
worked. Don't know about now.
I don't know. I mean, everyone's hyped up about the idea of DCAU returning. So,
Who would you say he's based on? The guy with the basketball,
Sportsmaster.
possibly. Dr. Icicle. He's clearly supposed to be Dr. Icicle.
Yeah. So, what's his version's name then? That's Abracadabra.
Yeah, that's definitely Abracadabra. I was just about to say that. He's clearly Abracadabra, Sportsmaster, Dr.
Uh,
Icicle. He's supposed to be the Fiddler.
hmm.
Although Dr. Icicle, I remember in the comics, looked very different to that.
Yeah. It, it's just the lineup from season one of Stargirl, essentially.
That's near enough, yeah. Yeah, I never thought of that, actually. Yeah, it's what the Injustice gang.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that far off. I mean, obviously, Dr. Icicle in Stargirl was a lot more creepy and darker. But yeah, it's kind of similar.
Yeah, I still haven't seen season two. So.
It's very good. I've really enjoyed it.
How many episodes is it now?
I'm not too sure,
Hmm.
but I know I said before, episodes 6 and 7 for me were my favourites of the show by my.
Cool.
But that's going to be for another time. But that was really good. So here, what we're seeing is very old school calculations, which would become one of the Flash's main trademarks in later years, where he'd get the blackboard out and start talking about the multiverse and time and space. So that would become more of a Flash trademark in the Arrowverse many years later. So it's kind of cool you get to see that here many years before, of course.
I just realised that they gave Tom Turbine Brock size from
Oh yeah.
Pokemon.
Oh, the squint eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do like the. I have to say. I mean, considering that this show came out in 2001, which was
Wow.
like 20 years ago, the animation hasn't dated or aged a single day. It still looks as fresh as the day it was made. It's still very slick. That guy looks just like Chief O'Hara.
I was just thinking that, man.
He does. He even sounds like Chief O'Hara. Goes, pleasure to have you aboard, Cape Crusaders. You know, even the uniforms as well is straight out of the 60s.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But I think this is all meant to be
their
the
homage.
60s.
There,
Yeah.
it was definitely supposed to be like a love letter to the golden age of DC Comics.
It even looks like Gotham from like '66 as well.
It does because remember in the show, most of the stories from what I remember watching it on Channel 4 many years ago,
I remember that.
most of the episodes, surprisingly for a Batman show, all took place during broad daylight.
I think the
Very
only
rarely they didn't take place at night, which is kind of funny because Batman is supposed to be a figure of the night. So seeing him work in colourful broad daylight was quite interesting. They look like those little rings you used to get in the cereal boxes.
yeah.
I remember the ones for Star Wars.
Oh right,
You used to
yeah.
get a Darth Maul ring and a Qui-Gon Jinn ring and a Jar Jar Binks ring. Ugh, I hate that guy. Oh, this guy.
Yeah, in I think it's only in the or Batman the movie. It's dark. Because
Mm.
remember Alfred's in the Batmobile. I was like, if anyone saw that, I was like, what is Bruce Wayne's butler in the fishy?
Yeah. I think oh that is classic. Flash carrying I know she's called Black Siren, which actually Black Siren is actually a real DC character, but seeing Flash carrying her, it's just classic superhero because that's always something Superman used to do with Lois. Still does to this day, actually, but it's quite fun.
Yeah.
Abracadabra.
Wanna reach out and grab your
Little Steve Miller. Yeah.
Yeah. I like the abracadabra on the Flash.
Yeah. Yeah. They did a really good job with
Dave
him.
the Schmulchin.
Oh, he's a very versatile actor. He
He's in
is.
everything.
He's as good. I would say if Tom Cavanagh is the most versatile actor,
Mm-hmm.
then what's that guy's name again?
Dave the Schmulchin.
Dave Sismoto. He's definitely B or 1B sort of thing because he's a really versatile actor. He's everywhere. But I'm not complaining.
No.
He's wicked.
He was in. Yeah, he's a prison. No, he's a escaped lunatic in Dark Knight.
Mm,
That's how he started all the superhero stuff.
yeah. Yeah, I remember he only had a small role. I always thought he was supposed to be Jervis Tetch
Could have been.
because he looked kind of like Jervis Tetch.
Yeah.
Mayor Hill.
Oh yeah.
Does look like Mayor Hill a little bit.
Dalton.
It even got, see, you can tell it's the golden age because, you got like the giant scissors. Yeah.
This bit reminds me of what's that film they did? New Frontier.
Oh, yeah. I love that film. Well, Justice League New Frontier.
Yeah, Captain Cold and the Flash.
Uh, very good animated movie. One of the best DC animated movies. That was one of the earlier ones. Very good.
Yeah.
Another thing that I realised with this episode, and I think they've done that deliberately, is the Justice League were never afraid to throw a fist at the bad guys. And the Justice Guild always held back, goes, no, that is not the way we do things around here. And Hawkgirl was just like, yeah, I'm going to do it my way. It's kind of cool. You can see the differences between how superhero stuff's changed so much. I thought that was quite good. They did that here.
Definitely.
Yeah, the phone box. Peter's not red.
You're...
Mm,
Yeah, they don't get that in America.
true.
Uh,
Sportsmaster. Definitely looks like the Batman 66 motorcycle.
yeah, definitely.
Done that deliberately, they must have done. And that back logo of the motorcycle, if you just if you can just get a shot of it, I don't think they're going to show it, but if you go back a bit at the back, it kind of looks like the Batman Beyond logo. Before it was
Oh
even, I
yeah,
mean, Batman Beyond was already long established by this point because Batman Beyond came out in '99.
for 2 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's already been out, so I think Batman Beyond finished in 2001 or maybe early two, something around that time.
Right.
But yeah, you can clearly see the Batman Beyond logo here. There's Alan Scott.
Yeah.
Very underrated Green Lantern character, Alan Scott.
I wonder if we'll ever get him in like a TV show or something.
I think we're going to see something because they have been hinting at him a lot, so we might see him in a TV show. Don't think we'll see him in a movie though. Although that would be kind of cool to see, but I don't think they will because he's not very big.
Well, his son is in Legends.
Yeah,
Obsidian, I
and
think.
not to spoil anything, but he's mentioned quite heavy in season 2 of Stargirl.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing the lantern
Mm.
in the first
So
series.
he's a big part of it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So I was hoping that one of the girls or one of those kids would become the next lantern,
Mm.
but I guess budget
What?
didn't allow it.
Yeah, well, can't have it always, sadly. So stay here.
Ginger Joker. That's all that is. That's just
Oh,
like Ginger
definitely.
Joker.
Just about the makeup.
I love this twist.
Oh, this twist coming up here. See, this is where, yeah, at this point, everything's all bright and colourful, and which is good. You know, we've always said bright and colourful is cool, but this is where the big twist comes shortly. Oh dear.
The claims are quite. Do you remember they did that joke in parodies 2017?
What? Oh,
The Macedon and the nuns.
yeah. Oh, that's not going to age very well. Wow. Oh wow.
Canary popsicle.
Flash popsicle. Yeah, see, look. Flash ice lolly or ice pole.
Yeah. Also, you're right when you said about 66 because it's purple elements to the costume as well.
Mm. Yeah, yeah,
Alan West had that.
yeah. You definitely had that. Oh boy. Wow.
But you know what I liked about the Alan West costume? When he got it wet, it all looked like it was just dark grey and black.
Like how it used to be
Yeah, like
when he first
proper
started.
Dark Knight Returns. Like,
Yeah.
awesome.
I know Dark Knight Returns wasn't until like 86,
I
but
know, but
still
it
cool.
looked like
Oh, here we go.
proper.
Big twist coming up here. See, by this point, everything's all bright and colourful. Everything's just business as usual, but you know something's not right.
Hmm.
And there.
Dum, dum,
Dum,
dum.
dum. Wow. I remember when I first watched this was a good twist.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming.
No. So we now move on to part two. Very good episode. Things get even better. That was a good, fun episode. Oh, there's your man.
Ice Cream 66.
Ice Cream Man forever.
Really wish they went back to this world. Like maybe in.
Unlimited,
Yeah.
definitely. But more characters. You see more characters, like maybe like a version of Stargirl or something.
Yeah, but if they're all dead, I mean, I don't know.
I suppose if that universe is all dead, then there's no point really continuing it. But they should have revisited something like this.
I just want to see more of that Radiant because I feel so sorry for that boy or mutant thing.
Oh yeah. But that's coming up in a minute. But yeah, that was kind of quite dark. And we've got to remember, Justice League animated series was shown on Toonami in the afternoons. So how they got away with little small things like that was just incredible to me.
Yeah.
Mm. Epic twist, though, I must say, at the end.
Really, yeah, just. Oh, there should have been a. I don't know, what would you have done with a third part though?
I'm not really sure what you could have done with a part three. I mean, you've introduced the Justice Guild. You have that. You have the boy turn out to be that mutant.
Mm.
Not really sure what else you could have done really for a part three. I suppose part one and two worked out fine, but I'm not really sure what you could have done with a part three.
I just thought it would have been cool to see the cat cave.
Should have got something like that, or at least a little story about how the Justice Guild was formed.
Yeah,
That would have been interesting, even if it was just the first 5 or 10 minutes.
yeah. And you just see like it's a flashback. You actually saw the flashback. That'd be cool.
Yeah. So this is Legends Part Two. So this just kind of picks up where we left off at the end of Part One, where Shira finds the gravestones of all the members of the Justice Guild. So that's where you start to see things are not what they seem.
Yeah.
Kind of cool that it's Shira who finds out about the gravestone. Would have been more interesting if John Stewart found it. But I guess why I can understand why they did that because it builds up to John Stewart learning the truth, but it still would have been interesting.
I think yeah. If Batman was in this episode, you know Batman would have found the
Oh,
gravestone.
absolutely, 100%. And I think you know, as much as we all love Batman, Superman, and even Wonder Woman to a degree, some of the episodes where they weren't featured were actually pretty good because we actually got to see more of the others because we never really got to see John Stewart and the Flash and John Jones outside of the Justice League show. So to see them spotlighted in these sort of episodes was quite good. So you know, as you say, you know, as I said earlier, I'm glad that you chose to talk about this episode because you know this was one of my favorites too. Really like this one a lot
Yeah.
because with Batman and Superman, it's you know what to expect really. With someone like John Jones, it's like okay, it's different. Oh look, yeah,
The red phone.
the red phone hotline. It's Chief O'Hara. Break glass, break emergency glass. Get the hotline.
Tom Turbine. What a weird. I mean, I guess that's meant to be this universe's Superman.
Yeah, what the optimistic hero.
Yeah.
But even then, you know, even though that's what Superman's supposed to be, here we go. That scene there, you know, where John Stewart's on one knee with Shira's hand on his shoulder,
Mm.
kind of reminded me of a graphic novel I've got called Superman, A World Without a Superman,
All
which is
right.
kind of like the aftermath of Death of Superman. All the DC universe went to the funeral and all standing by Superman's grave. Kind of reminded me of that with the Green Lantern.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I've seen the cover. I've never really read those.
I've got it. It's very, very emotional.
After all these years, I've only read a few issues of that whole arc.
Yeah, it's very good. I still haven't got the complete arc. The only one I'm missing is Superman Doomsday, which is like the fourth part, but I've got the first three.
Oh,
Oh, look, it's your man again. Ice
in
Cream
colour.
Man! In colour! For the first time ever! Oh, yeah, John Stewart doesn't want an ice cream.
See, that was like, no man, we're all out. I'm sorry.
I'm
Give
so,
it to
I
us
think
now.
did he say something like I'm sorry, we're out. I don't want any ice cream. I want the truth. Can you imagine if Batman was saying, care for an ice cream? And just be just staring up, no.
Green Arrow. Woo.
Oh, 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 I just had a brilliant idea for a third part.
God.
How about the Archer?
Yeah, the Archer would have
Because
been
the
cool.
Archer was a thing in DC back in the 40s. Before Green Arrow, there was a character called the Archer in the Superman comic, which I've got.
Yeah.
Greatest Superman stories ever told. So yeah, you could have had the Archer, who was like pre Oliver Queen.
There's also a villain in Batman '66 called the Archer as well.
Yeah, yeah, I remember him. He was also in the Batman comics as well,
Oh,
although he
okay.
wasn't that version. It was a completely different version. But yeah, I think they could have had the Archer. Funny enough, the guy called the Archer in Superman, he looked just like Green Arrow.
Oh.
but he wasn't. They wasn't Green Arrow. But Green Arrow didn't come out till 43.
Uh, I think you said before in Lois and Clark, there's an episode where Dean Kane's just as Robin Hood.
Yeah, yeah. I think I told you
Something
about
like that.
that. Yeah, yeah. Doesn't age well, that one. It's funny, but yeah, he dressed up as Robin Hood. It was all green. Yeah, I said to you, that's like imagine if Dean Kane as the Green Arrow. Bellboy. Ding.
Roof access. Access to.
To roof. Mm.
Seeing the blimps always reminds me of the animated series.
What the Scarecrow?
That is the animated series in general.
Oh, the police blimps. Yeah, they were a big part of the DCOU in the early days. The police blimps. Didn't have them for long though. You had them in the first episode on level wings. Then you had like a few episodes after, and that was it. They didn't use it anymore. They went back to the helicopters, and
Yeah.
then epilogue they kind of went back to the blimp again with at the end because what was that? You know, so you kind of had that.
I'm so pumped for this Crusader. That's coming out. I don't know
Hopefully,
if
hopefully
it's
it's tied into this.
if it is brilliant, but if it's not, then as long as it's good.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So here we see John Stewart and Shira finding clues, and the whole library is just empty. Kind of reminds me of Perchance to Dream, where
Yeah.
Bruce was going through the library books, but the only difference was the words were all jumbled up. He goes,
Mm.
"Nothing makes sense here," you know. It kind of reminds me of that when John Stewart's just trashing the library. There's nothing here. It's blocked. Then we'll make a door. Nice.
Door activate.
I know they weren't thinking about it here, but would you say Legends was kind of like the start of planting the seeds for the John Stewart and Shira whole relationship?
Yeah,
I know they weren't
definitely.
thinking about it at this point because this is season one of the Justice League, but you can definitely see they were planting the seeds for that relationship because these two seem to be the main focus of the whole story.
Don't they get together like the War? Was it War World?
No,
Was it not that one?
no.
Oh,
Um, they got together, I believe, might have been at the start of season two. I think was where Shire was dying, or something like that. And Shire got very angry. Well, why do you care what happens to me? You know, why do you care so much? Because, and he said some line about, I don't want to be in a world where you're not in it. And then that's how they got together, or something like that. And
oh,
then she like took her mask off, and
oh.
yeah, that was kind of nice because that was the first time we ever saw Hawk Girl without her mask. Oh,
Yeah.
nothing gets old like watching two bad guys fighting each other or arguing. No, someone better reach over and grab you. Yeah, see,
And she's got.
yeah, wouldn't be the first time Black Canary gets killed off.
He's always getting killed
Uh,
off. It's him.
yeah, I know. Doesn't mean we like it though. Doesn't mean we have to like it. Why why is the steering wheel of the blimp look like something you see in a pirate ship? I don't know.
That was just
I
thinking.
don't know why.
Yeah.
Why is it like a pirate ship?
I don't know. I know what it's meant to be, but when I see that thing on Randy's head, I just think pizza cutter.
Mm.
I know it's meant to be like a surgical thing.
Yeah, you know, as I said earlier, Doctor Icicle was very different in the comics. He, as I said, he didn't look like a sign. He didn't look like a doctor.
No.
He just looked like an Iceman.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy. Yeah, this is definitely Golden Age Super Friends sort of feel to this episode. Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
The whole justice.
Yeah.
Super friends. John Stewart's like, dude,
The party's over.
I love John. They need to make a movie or a TV show or something. I know Arrowverse is doing something with John Diggle, but
We've said this for many years. I mean, we've done lots of videos over the years about things like this, and we've, everyone I've talked to, even you, talked to quite a lot of people. Everyone wants a John Stewart movie of some sort because aside from the fact that he's an awesome character, he's just so criminally underrated.
yeah,
When people say Green Lantern, they think Hal Jordan. And we know he's iconic. Obviously, the first Green Lantern I grew up with was Kyle Rayner when I was getting into comics, but John Stewart became my man pretty much when the
yeah.
show came out, really. Because I got into comics around about 1988. And I got into the show. Well, I learned about the show like a few years later. But yeah, John Stewart was my man growing up.
But I always knew about Hal Jordan.
Yeah, I've always known about Hale Jordan too. But Kyle Rayner was the first proper Green Lantern I really got to know as a character. JGA. Huh.
Yeah, I didn't see the episode with Carl Rayner because I didn't really watch Superman animated series as a
It's
kid.
good. It's good. Well, it was quite good. It was just basically the Hal Jordan origin, just with Kyle Rayner. And now the boy is in question. Oh, here we go. Dude.
It's another Duma. Oh
He
man.
looks like, just watching this, he reminds me of a very old villain from the Incredible Hulk comic called the Gorgon.
Oh, okay.
He was later renamed the Gargoyle,
Right.
but in the comics, he was called the Gorgon, and he was very short. This was pre-Leader. This was like way before the Leader even came out, but he looked just like that. He was just in a blue bodysuit with military bodysuit with boots, and he had this big head, and he was just this ugly old man called the Gorgon. He was from Russia, and that's what this little boy who turns into that mutant reminds me of. He's kind of like a cross between the Gorgon, Gargoyle meets Leader.
I'll just call him the Tuma.
I don't know what you could have called him really. I mean, as I said earlier, considering the show was shown in the afternoon,
Yeah.
for a kids show. I know they said it was a kids show. It was quite dark.
Yeah. I guess you could have called him the Brain or
Maybe.
Loeb. I know Loeb's villain from um, Freakazoid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe the Brain or something. I believe there is a villain called the Brain. Oh. Oh. That is just gross. Bang
Well,
his head. Sorry, I'm going to bang your head. Yes, it's quite messed up.
also, I think there was a character who looked like that in Earthworm Jim.
Yeah. There was also a character similar to that in Pinky and the Brain as well, I believe.
Oh,
Where Pinky met someone who's like him,
okay.
but who's more evil, or something like that.
I used to always laugh at the big robotic
Is it Pinky or
body.
the Brain or something like that?
Yeah,
Isn't it?
you know, Brain's robotic suit. He's got this humongous robot suit and
With the little
yeah,
person.
little tiny head poking
Oh,
out of
yeah.
it.
I remember there was a toy of that.
That would be
I remember the toy of that very briefly. Woolworths.
It always made me laugh at when I saw it in the TV show.
The props they use in this episode is very typical of like the 60s and the 50s. Like everything's over the top, like giant robots and things like that. What was his reason? The little mutant. What was his reason for doing what he did? I can't remember.
I just think it was like he couldn't let go of the past.
Yeah.
It was all about nostalgia. Like he was just stuck in the past,
He wanted to
essentially.
keep. He wanted to keep the warmth of that world
Yeah.
going. Yeah, I think I sort of remember. For a villain, you know, I know we're all supposed to hate the villain, but I kind of felt sorry for this guy in a
Yeah.
way.
Definitely.
So why can you just let me believe? What was he said? Why can you just let me believe? You know, why don't you just let me make believe? Kind of reminds you of Baby Doll,
Yeah.
although not probably as messed up. With this guy, I kind of felt sorry for him more than Baby Doll, because Baby Doll, she was just an actress in a TV show, wasn't she?
Yeah. She had like some kind of disorder.
Yeah, where she couldn't age, even though she was like 30 something. She looked like she was like 5 years old or something.
That actually is based on a real thing.
Mm. Yeah, that was a good episode. That was, but with this guy, he was just a normal guy who just wanted to keep that world alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another character. Ace. Do you remember Ace had the same powers? Not the dog from
No, I know who
Billy,
you mean.
but yeah,
Ace, the one who
the
died in
little girl.
Batman's arms. Yeah, on the swings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's sad.
Oh, this is sad. Oh, wow.
Sad, but he was a dick to him anyway. But there's that line in it. It's like you're cruel to your people's son. I'm like, dude.
Dude, that is. I know. Yeah, I never realised that when.
You know that, and he's John's just like, yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember that. Very insulting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame. If I was John Stewart, I'd be probably the same. Goes, yeah, thanks. Yeah, idiot. Oh, poor guy.
Frank has been defeated.
Oh my god, he does look like Frank. Yeah, that's it. He's like a cross between the Gorgon from the Hulk meets Krang from Dimension X.
I was gonna say that.
Yes.
Beat me to
Oh,
it.
look, there's your man.
That's my man.
He's out of business. Oh, there's no more ice cream. Damn, Mayor Hill. Yeah, starting today.
The ice cream man must endure, Mr. Wayne.
You see, a long time ago when I was an ice cream man. Yeah. So they were all on. So there was all under his that guy's control then.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I never realised that.
Well, what he said, ice cream man says, it's very sad and weird. It's like they knew what was going on, but they just couldn't. It
Couldn't
was
speak.
stuck that loop.
Yeah.
It's like a hell loop from like
See, I thought
Lucifer.
the people. I thought the people were just figments of the boy's imagination that he created from his mind. I didn't know they were actual real people.
I think the heroes were meant to be on his mind.
Yeah, but the people there they were just playing roles, weren't they?
Mm.
Yeah. It's been abandoned for years.
This also reminds me of the Superman storyline. You know, like Lois Lane goes into the other Metropolis.
Brave
Yeah,
New Metropolis. Yeah, that was top episode. That was. I love that one.
I like that one.
That historically is credited as the first evil Superman episode in the DCAU.
Oh right.
That's a very very special episode to me. That one.
They
Yeah,
brought him back, haven't they, for the comic?
who Overman.
Oh, was that someone else though?
No, they did bring him back.
Oh,
Yeah, they did bring him back. Overman, he's called because he's supposed to be like a Nazi version of Superman.
yeah, but didn't that end with
Him redeeming himself.
Yeah, so why is he still evil?
Well, you have to read the comic
Oh,
to see
okay.
that. Batman and
Yeah.
Superman just don't look happy. So why wasn't I part of this? I would have been there in detective mode. Yeah, yes. This is definitely what we was just saying earlier. That this was kind of like the start of them building a relationship.
Right.
Yeah, you can see here. Yeah.
Oh, like the effects. Purple and blue sky.
Oh,
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 that's
he
nice.
died.
Yeah, he died years ago.
I thought he died much earlier than that.
Well, this is dedicated to him, so he's been there for over 20 years. Well, just about 20 years.
By that point, yeah. And that concludes both Legends Part 1 and 2. Very good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this one. No, I'm glad that you chose this one. This was a lot of fun. It was really good.
Yeah.
So that's going to be it from us. We are going to wrap it up. Hope you enjoyed listening to me and the Geeker Beyond talk about Legends Part 1 and 2. The next episode we are going to talk about, I'm going to choose the next one. We I think we should talk about an episode that I quite enjoyed, Paradise Lost
Cool.
with Felix Faust.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah, that will be for the next edition of the Justice League review series, where we're going to be talking about Paradise Lost, which one of my favorites. So stay tuned for that. Don't miss it. We will be back next time to talk about Paradise Lost. So you know what to do. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your thoughts and comments down below, and we will see all of you next time for another edition of the Justice League review series. So until then, take care and stay safe. And once again, thanks for listening.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.